Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Shooter Straight podcast. It's your co-host, Zach.
I'm your co-host, Blue.
And welcome back to episode 20. First and foremost, like always, man, we just want to thank everyone for all the support we've been getting on all social media platforms and YouTube and everything. We've been getting views on our Reels and YouTube Shorts and everything like that, so we appreciate all the support. And we just started the Facebook page today. We're going to link that in the description box below, down with all the other social media. So make sure you follow us on there and like it up on the Facebook because we're going to be going crazy on there.
And continue to like us on other platforms, including TikTok, Instagram. And we're going to be setting up on Spotify pretty soon.
Exactly. Spotify and Apple Music podcast coming real soon. We're getting all that in the works. So we got some real big things coming soon. So you're not going to want to miss a thing. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because we got a lot of big things coming soon, some interviews and everything.
I was going to say, keep commenting on the Facebook Reels, which we just started up, Instagram Reels, YouTube, our videos, clips. Just keep commenting and letting us know what's interesting, and we'll see what's next.
Exactly. So with all that being said, man, you ready to just get straight into this?
Yeah, let's shoot it straight into it.
First and foremost, we're going to start off with the NBA. We got some crazy news. Celtics coach Ime Udoka has been suspended for the entire 2022-2023 season after he reportedly has violated team policies after having an intimate relationship with a team affiliate. Now, the initial reports were that the relationship is 100% consensual. However, recently, Udoka has been accused of making unwanted comments towards her, which led to this investigation by a private law firm, and it's kind of led all the way to him being suspended now for the whole season coming up. Joe Mazzulla has been hired to replace Udoka. That's the immediate replacement. But, first and foremost, let's just get straight into it. What are your immediate thoughts on this?
Seems like the situation is only going to get worse for him. There's rumors that I believe Richard Jefferson and there was Matt Barnes came out and said that situation may be looking worse, and it's hard to say like how much, like if he deserves more like of a punishment, because we don't know like
the full
details exactly, but we'll see what's coming out of the situation.
Exactly. In terms of this situation, I think that it's an ever-growing situation, and I think that there definitely is more than meets the eye to this situation at first glance. I understand that, it's a team policy. The head coach of the team can't really be having a relationship with somebody who's lower, in the Celtics staff. So I understand that, but at the same time, it seems as if there's more details coming out about the situation by the minute. Shams at first was saying that it was 100% consensual, and now they're saying that it might not have been. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So I think I don't want to rush to any conclusions and say that he deserved a harsher punishment or anything like that, because I think that there's just more details that are going to come out about this situation. I think ultimately, it's best to focus on the basketball part of this at this very moment until more details come out. And I think that this is, in terms of the basketball court,
it's detrimental to the Celtics.
This is very detrimental to the Celtics and where this franchise was headed.
Because overall, he was a good basketball coach.
Of course, and regardless of how this situation ends, we all know what he did last season, getting the Celtics team to the NBA Finals,
which they haven't done X amount of years with, like
2008, I think. 2008, yeah. They were able to win the championship. 2010, they lost to the Lakers. So that was probably the last time they've been in there. So that's what I'm saying. And they had Brad Stevens for many years trying to get there, and he always kind of got knocked out in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then Ime Udoka comes for one season, and he's able to actually get him there. And unfortunately, they did lose to Golden State, but not many teams were probably going to beat Golden State. That team was kind of on a mission. It seemed like they were kind of destined to win the last championship, let's be honest.
However, do you have faith in the new coach, Joey Mazzulla?
I have no faith in him. I'm not going to lie.
Because he has barely any experience.
How are you going to, I understand there's probably not many options and stuff like that, but bro, how are you going to hire the guy whose only experience is Fairmount State? Have you ever heard of Fairmount State?
Not many people have.
Nobody has. Literally, this is like hiring some random guy off the street, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And I understand he was an assistant coach and stuff like that, but let's be real, man. This team, it was NBA, favorite. They were finals favorites for some people, you know what I mean? They were up there, and now, I don't think you can consider this team a favorite for the championship, because
without a star coach,
you can have all the great talent in the world. You can have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. You can have them all. But if you don't have a good coach to lead them, like Ime Udoka was, you're not gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it, man. They had Brad Stevens, they couldn't get there. You think Joe Mazzulla is gonna take him? Like, I think it's going to be really bad for the Celtics. You know what I mean?
And even if he is a good coach, he's just gonna have more. He's just gonna have to have experience in the NBA. Joey Mazzulla.
And the pressure on this guy is going to be so crazy because not only is it the Boston Celtics, but also he's replacing Ime Udoka, and he's replacing him in such a kind of weird way. You know what I mean? Nobody kind of expect. There's going to be so much pressure on him to perform, and you can't put all this pressure on a guy who his only experience is Fairmount State. You know what I mean? Like I just
he's been an assistant coach for what
the
Celtics.
But your only head coaching experience is Fairmount State. You know.
So he's been with the team though. He's been with the Celtics.
But this is
he knows the area.
He knows the team and stuff like that. But let's be real. If you think that this he's gonna be able to run this defense as good or call the plays or anything like that at the level of Ime Udoka, or just lead the team. Of course,
because he has no NBA experience, but. Maybe give him some time.
I think. I don't think that the Celtics are all of a sudden going to become like a non-playoff team or anything crazy like that. But a lot of people were saying, could this be the year where they win the finals? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gone. I
don't think that can happen without Ime Udoka, and I don't think anybody does. And I think that's why this is. Besides the fact that it's just a very controversial story, but that's why this is so crazy. You know what I mean? Nobody expected it, and the Celtics are such a good team that this is very detrimental to the future of the season. But I think. This is a story that is only ever growing, and
we'll continue to give updates.
I know that this won't be the last time we probably talk about it, because by the time we record this next podcast, I'm sure that there's going to be more rumors and more. Well, not even rumors. There's going to be confirmed things that have already come out, and it's going to make this whole situation make a lot more sense. And then we'll probably be able to give a verdict on what we thought the punishment probably actually should have been, or if it should have been worse or or less or anything like that. But right now, we just have to wait and see, and I think we just got to wait and keep following to see what happens with the situation.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's get into the next topic with scandals. Another scandal going on in the NBA.
Yeah,
the Suns' owner was recently fired, and Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is thinking about buying the team.
Exactly. I mean, we talked about it last podcast, the whole Robert Sarver situation, and. We even said at the time that he should be selling the team. We thought that the NBA should have probably forced him to sell the team. And the NBA didn't. They ended up not having to force him because he was getting so much backlash that he just decided to sell the team on his own.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the right move for him, but I don't want to really focus on him. I want to focus on the fact that, Jeff Bezos is in the running to get, I think Jeff Bezos could lead this team, to really great things.
Yeah, of course, he's probably not going to be involved because he doesn't have that much basketball knowledge. But he has the money. Exactly, he has the money and the power to get someone maybe out of their position, maybe like their job right now. Maybe they only got 1 year left at this X whatever team, and they'll join the Suns. And with a great owner and Chris Paul, man,
they're gonna have a great front office. You know what I mean? They're gonna be able to pay.
No one's saying they're winning a championship or nothing, but. They could definitely
in the future. They're going to continue to contend because they've got an owner who's willing to spend all the money in the world, and they got an owner who's going to want to put out a good product onto the court. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Chris Paul won't choke.
I mean, he's probably going to get a little bigger bag, maybe from Jeff Bezos, so maybe he'll have more incentive. I don't know, but I think that this is going to open up so many options for the Suns because. I think that this is obviously a free agent destination. This is a place where people want to go. It's not like it's look, no disrespect to Milwaukee, but nobody really wants to live in Milwaukee. But you know what I mean? Like for the most part, that's just a random city. Utah could go the same way. There's a lot of teams that they're not free agent destinations. But Phoenix, that's a good area. People want to go there. They got Devin Booker. They got a real young core. With the right ownership group, and potentially, Jeff Bezos, or there's a few other guys, that are in the running. Whoever it is, they're gonna have a lot of pressure, but I do think that they can't do it any worse than Sarver did.
Yeah.
So I think that the Suns are gonna do great things. I'm not gonna lie. In the future.
For sure. I can definitely see it. And I was thinking that Jeff Bezos would have actually been interested in buying I know we talked about it on the podcast on an earlier episode, but if the Seattle Supersonics were coming back, he would have probably been interested in buying those because he's around that area. But
yeah,
that's probably. I know he said they weren't going to make any team extensions on Adam Silver, right?
Yeah.
So
they're not adding
the next
anymore.
next couple years exactly. They'll be willing to talk about it though.
Yeah, well, it would have been interesting to see Jeff. And let's be real, it's not no confirmed thing. Jeff Bezos still might be kind of holding out for that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's hard to become an owner in the NBA because not many people are really willing to sell their franchise. Of
course,
it's not like you don't get this opportunity every day. And if Jeff Bezos is really interested in doing this, which it seems as if he is. He's been wanting to, I think, get into buying a sports franchise for a while.
Because he has to know the industry is only going to continue to grow.
Exactly. And Jeff Bezos, he's got the money. Like, he likes sports to a certain extent. So, he's been wanting to get into this. Maybe he's looking at it like, this is my best option. That's, and there might be a few other options that it might come up, but he even knows that a franchise as good as the Phoenix Suns is not going to come up again. You know what I mean? Like, the Lakers aren't getting sold or nothing like that. So, the Suns is a top-tier franchise right now. It's
at this very moment.
And he's going to be able to keep them there.
Of course.
So, I understand why he would make that move and not go for the Seattle Supersonics and try to bring a team back there. You know what I mean? I understand it from Bezos' perspective. You know what I mean?
Got options.
Of course. And when you're Jeff Bezos, you got all the options in the world. It doesn't matter. You can kind of do whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
Bet. So, you ready to get into the NFL?
I'm always ready to get into the NFL, man. We got a crazy week. Woo!
Let's talk about our week 3 predictions.
Yeah. So, week 3 predictions, like always, the pick'em style format. Week 3 NFL pick'em. Let's go. Bills, Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Bengals, Jets. Taking the Bengals.
Bengals.
Raiders versus the Titans. Taking the Raiders.
Raiders.
Saints versus the Panthers. I'm taking the Saints.
I got the Saints.
Ravens versus the Patriots. I'm taking the Ravens.
Ravens.
Lions versus the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Eagles, Commanders. Taking the Eagles.
Eagles.
Chiefs, Colts. Taking the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Texans versus the Bears. I'm taking the Bears.
The Bears.
Jags versus the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Rams versus the Cardinals. I'm taking the Rams.
This one, man, I gotta go with the Cardinals.
Packers versus the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks.
Bucks.
Falcons versus the Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks to get the
Seahawks. I'm picking the Seahawks.
49ers versus Broncos. I'm taking the 49ers.
49ers.
And then Cowboys versus the Giants. I'm taking the Giants.
Man, I got to take the Giants as well, man. They've been performing real well lately.
Wow. So, I think the craziest thing, we have, very similar picks this week. I think that there's a lot of games this particular week where they're kind of one-sided or, there's a clear favorite in a lot of these games. And a lot of the times you can get burnt on some of these games, because, look, let's be real. There's some games here where it's real pick'em, but then there's some, you would expect the Bengals to be able to beat the Jets,
But it could be an upset.
So, last week in particular, I got a little bit burned on my week 2 picks and because of some upsets. But the first game I think that is of major, highlight, is going to be the Bills versus the Dolphins. And this is a crazy matchup to get in week 3. 2-0 versus 2-0. AFC East divisional matchup. We both picked the Dolphins, but what makes you have faith in the Dolphins to get this one done against the Bills?
The injuries on the Bills' defensive side, and, man, Dolphins just been getting it done on offense, bro, so they're just going to be unstoppable.
And especially with the injuries that the Bills have in the secondary, I think that they're going to be able to exploit the Bills.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. Even as a Dolphins fan, at first I was picking the Bills, but I saw the injuries and I said, damn, this secondary is really injury plagued right now.
And Josh Allen can only do so much without his defense.
Yeah. I think that, obviously the defensive line is still going to be great. They're still going to have Von Miller, and they're still going to be able to get some sacks and get some pressure. But Tua has been really good and really efficient this season at getting the ball out quickly. And, although even last week against the Ravens when he had a crazy 6-touchdown game, he did throw 2 interceptions. But, the second half of that game, we saw Tua play like I have never seen Tua play in the NFL. It was unbelievable to watch. I personally couldn't believe it. And I feel like that was the turning point of his whole career. And I think that this is his chance. He's never been able to beat the Bills. And this is his chance to really put the whole NFL on notice. Look, they're watching him now. Last game, they made him pay attention. But this is his chance to really cement himself, I feel like.
I think he's definitely going to take up on that opportunity, no questions.
And
no questions about it.
So the other game, obviously, we got to highlight this game because this is one of I think maybe the only game where we actually disagreed on the Rams and the Cardinals. I was able to, I picked the Rams. I think that the Rams, I feel like they're going to take this one. But what makes you have faith in the Cardinals to get this one done?
They just got so many weapons, man. Their offensive defense, bro. They got weapons on both sides with J.J. Watt and then their quarterback.
And you've seen the crazy. He's playing crazy against the Raiders and keeping him in the game last week, and they let him on that crazy comeback. Ultimately, they were able to win that in overtime. Playing at home, I think this is going to be a really tough game. You know what I mean? This really could be 50-50. But I think that the Rams defense, they kind of got that fire under them again. I think Aaron Donald is going to have a really good game. Jalen Ramsey coming off of the game-winning interception he had last week against the Falcons, he's going to be more motivated. I feel like that if the defense of the Rams is able to play how I anticipate them to play, I think that they'll be able to shut down Kyler Murray. And if they can do that, it's hard to shut him down because he's too good of a player. But you can just neutralize him a little bit. Make him throw 1 or 2 interceptions. And I think the Rams will be able to capitalize.
I don't know. I know it might be too early to say, but I just don't feel that they're that Super Bowl team again. Like I just don't feel that they're giving off that energy.
And do you think the loss of Odell plays into that? I think that their offense has been one of the main question marks.
Exactly, most definitely, man. Matt Stafford's looking for someone to throw to, not only to Cooper Kupp, but he's looking for other options, man.
And I think they've lost a couple pieces on that offensive line, and obviously we're seeing how big the loss of Von Miller is.
Exactly.
And we talked about that right after the Bills played the Rams and smoked them. We realized, okay, the Von Miller loss, we knew it was big. We knew it was a big deal, but we knew it was a crazy big of it, way bigger than I think some people thought.
Exactly. So I just don't think they're giving off that energy, bro, that grit.
And then we have a legendary quarterback matchup this weekend between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Tom Brady, playing basically me out there as wide receiver. He's got no wide receiving options. And some would say similar, with Aaron Rodgers, Allen Lazard, I don't know, he's playing on one leg right now. Sammy Watkins, I just saw he's out. He's not playing. This is basically, I think, is going to be we're going to see 2 legendary quarterbacks play with no receivers, But I just think the Bucs at home, they're probably going to be able to get this one done, and I think you picked the Bucs as well.
Yeah, because you can't count out Tom Brady, man. He's always
even with nobody.
He's just always going to be able to get it done, man. Even if it's a close game and it's towards the fourth quarter, man. I know Aaron Rodgers is able to get it done as well, but sometimes there's been times where he's choked, bro. So I believe that Tom Brady's just consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent with getting it done at the end.
I think that what's going to win the Bucs this game is it's going to be it's crazy to say this because we got 2 legendary quarterbacks out there, but I think this game is going to be a defensive battle. And I think that, in a defensive battle, I got to lean towards the team with a better defense, and I like the Bucs defense. The Green Bay has a good defense, but, I think we saw, obviously, even against, the Vikings, not really good performance. We saw I wasn't that impressed even by the Bears win. That Sunday Night Football game was not an impressive win by any means for the Green Bay Packers. So I think that they still have some question marks, and I think there's going to be even more question marks after the Bucs ultimately take this close win. I feel like, what I mean? It's going to be a field goal type of game.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Any other games you think we should highlight? The Raiders, maybe?
If you want to talk about it.
Nah, I mean, I think the Titans I think the Titans, they got blown out by the Bills. I think that the Bills are obviously really good, but the Titans aren't that bad. But I think the Raiders are going to bounce back from that loss against the Cardinals.
Yeah, man, because they can't only rely on Derrick Henry forever, the Titans. So they're going to have to change their – they're going to have to do something.
They don't have A.J. Brown anymore, and we're seeing how big of a loss that is.
They're going to have to add another option.
Let's be real. The Raiders' main issue last week against the Cardinals, look, Devontae Adams caught a touchdown, but he had 2 receptions for 12 yards and a touchdown. Look, that can't happen. That just can't happen. There's no we don't need to explain why. If you give Devontae Adams 2 catches, you ain't winning that game.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Derek Carr is going to have to do a better job at getting him the ball, but obviously Devontae Adams is getting some of the best corners in the game guarding him, but he's going to just have to get open then. You know what I mean? Just be real.
There could be something behind it, whether it's like practice and the coach wants
him to get other options involved.
Exactly.
Week 1, we saw him. Devontae Adams had like 12 or 13 catches. He had and it was over 100 yards, and that's what we expected to see.
So maybe they're trying to switch up the game.
Now, obviously, it didn't work.
For now. But Derek Carr can't be only throwing to Devontae Adams forever.
Yeah, and you picked the Raiders to win the division. And
exactly.
You know, they right now they started off 0-2. This is a must win for them.
Exactly.
If they're gonna,
have any chance to win their division,
or even make the playoffs at this rate. They're gonna need to win this game.
Facts.
And it's gonna be really tough for anybody who's 0-3 to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? And even come back from that, it's tough. You know, the morality is down, and it goes the same thing with the Bengals. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me that the Bengals are at risk of starting 0-3 as well.
Because you got to win like 5-6 games in a row in order to be able to catch up.
Exactly, and I do think that the Bengals are a little bit fortunate that they got to play the Jets this week, and hopefully that can not hopefully I guess, but hopefully because I picked them, hopefully that will save them from going 0-3 because if they're gonna have any chance of making the playoffs, they're gonna have to win this game.
Especially with Zach Wilson being injured for the Jets.
Exactly,
they got their chance.
This is what the Bengals needed. They needed to play the Jets at this time, and if they can't win this, then their season might be done.
Bet. So I know we never talked about this about the channel, but you ready to get into the next topic, baseball?
Yeah, I am ready.
Cool. Let's talk about it.
So we've got, obviously, this is one of the biggest stories in sports right now. Aaron Judge, he's breaking records, making history. He is soon to hit his 62nd home run, which would break Babe Ruth's record.
Babe Ruth, yeah, potentially. He's going to be the best baseball player to ever play.
Well, I don't know.
That's what they're saying?
I don't know. Well, I don't know about that, but he's just going to break the record.
But they're saying, he's going to be like top 5, something like that?
Oh, he's going to be up there. I mean,
like
if he's able to keep doing this, he's going to be up there for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But, so Aaron Judge is about to hit his 62nd home run, and the ball of this home run is expected to be worth between $750,000 and $1.2 million. So the question of the day is, if you caught this ball, what would you do?
Honestly, I know the person didn't get much. This happened before, recently in his life.
Exactly.
So, and the person didn't get that much for it. He got assigned baseball and maybe
a few
bats. Honestly, I would give it back to him if he was willing to say like he was gonna donate it to like a charity or like some type of way to inspire young players to want to play. You know what I'm saying? Put in like some type of baseball museum. You know what I mean?
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
So you would give it back to Aaron Judge and ask for nothing for return?
No, because I would want it to be more of like to inspire the youth.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe you just said that. If I caught this ball,
because if he breaks the record, bro, it's something that's never been done, and it'll give younger players the inspiration to say, hey, maybe I could beat his record.
Yeah, the only person who's ever hit more home runs than this is Barry Bonds, who hit like 70, but that was in the National League. Exactly. We're going to break the American League record, which it would be the second most home runs in a single season. And we're talking Barry Bonds, we're talking years, we're talking like 20 years or whatever. So it's something that doesn't happen every day. And this record that he's about to break, Babe Ruth, we're talking about, this is like almost 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unbelievable.
Crazy.
But if I caught this ball, Aaron Judge's 62nd home run ball, I'm going to do the exact opposite. Like, I would love for it to go. I want it to eventually get to the Hall of Fame and all stuff like that because it's going to need to. It's very historical. But the first thing that I'm going to do is sell it to whoever I got to sell it to. I mean, I'm cashing in. I'm cashing in, and maybe you don't get the full $750,000 or $1.2 million or whatever it is, but you got to cash that in for something. You know what I mean? And look, the guy who traded in the 60th home run ball, he's only getting a couple baseballs and a signed bat and stuff like that. I mean, that guy got finessed.
Maybe a couple $1,000s worth of merch.
He's getting finessed, bro. It was literally, it could have been worth max like $500,000, between $50,000 and $500,000. And he got a couple $1,000 maybe worth of merchandise, and he got to meet Aaron Judge and, just say he met him. And that's cool. But like, when this one, bro, it's worth all that? Nah. You know what I mean? And if you are to give it back, and they're like demanding it or something like that, which they can't do necessarily, but let's just say they were, you got to at least get some season tickets. And like, I would not even just season tickets for the whole season. If you catch this ball, bro, the Yankees should be giving you season tickets for life.
I mentioned that to you as well before the pod. Like that guy should have got Yankee season tickets for life. It's just crazy how he did it. It's just crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe like I would personally, especially for this ball, it has to be for life. But you know what I mean? Like I would for life just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even have to be like.
They didn't even give it to him for a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like at the minimum, bro, you got to be like, oh, you can have season tickets for like the next 5 years or something. All right. At the end of the day, I guess you kind of take that. That's pretty cool. Season tickets for 5 years for free. But like, if you catch this ball, bro, and if they're not offering me season tickets for life, but just to start out the negotiation, I'm closing the door on the Yankees. I'm saying, bro, goodbye, bro. And I'm going straight to the auction or whatever, and I'm gonna get my 1.2 million.
For sure.
Yeah. So. You ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
So this is something a little bit different on the channel. You know, something that it's still about sports, but it's actually a personal story of ours. You know, something we've actually gotten to do, contrary to our other types of content. You know, where we just kind of give our opinions on the most trending topics and stuff like that. This is actually a personal story. You know, recently we got the opportunity to meet. A few months ago we got the first opportunity to meet Dick Vitale, a legendary ESPN basketball commentator. Everyone knows him, awesome baby. Everyone knows him. He doesn't really need much of an introduction, but we've gotten the chance to meet him and see him a couple times. But most recently, was it just yesterday?
Yeah, we were able to go to First Watch and visit and donate to his cancer foundation.
Exactly. And we wanted to show off the new decoration that is going to be coming somewhere around here or in the new studio that we eventually get very, very soon. Oof. So hopefully y'all can see this real good. Hold it up. Dickie V obviously signed it, and then he wrote it out to us right here. Shoot It Straight podcast, awesome baby. So it's a real cool memento that we were able to get, to signify, it's for the podcast, and it was really cool to get this and being able to meet him and all that. So obviously, thanks to him, and it was really cool to get to see him a couple times, and we're gonna stay in touch with him, and obviously, and see what the future holds with that.
Of course.
Anything else you got to say? What else you got to say about that?
No, it was a great time, and I was glad that we were able to donate to his cancer foundation.
Exactly, and he's doing many cool things very soon. He even got to talk to us about some of them. So,
He'll be on the road again.
Exactly, he's going to be doing basketball, and so we're excited to see that, and we're just glad that he was able to officially be cancer free and all that, which is just a blessing, and that's why it was so cool to meet him, and we thank him a lot. Thanks Dickie V. He's probably
Thanks
watching
Dickie V.
Exactly. So you ready to move on to the next topic, music?
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Exactly.
From sports to music. Let's get into it.
So we've got Offset officially dropping his new album on November 11th, 2022. He just announced the track list, or he just announced the date, and the expected features: Moneybagg Yo, Cardi B, potentially Juice WRLD, and there's more that we don't even know about yet because he hasn't announced the track list. So what are your expectations for this album based on what we know?
Bro, we know it's going to be a banger, bro. Banger. Now, a classic, I don't know about that, but we know it's going to be a banger, like straight up bangers on it.
I think that we can expect, I think it's interesting. Obviously, we heard the first single.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Exactly, and then we had the song with Moneybagg Yo. So I think, obviously, I would say he's 2 for 2 so far.
Exactly.
And we know that the production is going to be there. We've already heard it. And we know, honestly, solo Offset, we know what he can do. You know what I mean? He's done it before. He's proved himself consistently that as a solo artist, he can hold his own.
For sure.
I mean? Away from the Migos. He's already proved that. And now, obviously, with that beef or whatever, he's going to have to kind of do it on his own if that's going to continue. But I think the real question is, will this album be better than Father of Four? And in my opinion, I think it will be. I know a lot of people love Father of Four, and me, myself included, but I'm not going to lie, for that album, if you really know Offset, he previews a lot of good snippets on Instagram Live and never drops them. And I'm not going to lie, Father of Four, he has some bangers in the vault that he didn't drop, and there's rumors that he might be dropping them on this album. We don't know. If he drops what I kind of expect him to in the kind of songs he's been dropping in the snippets and everything, if he keeps dropping these, I think that this is going to be better than Father of Four. I think the features are going to be better. I think everything about this album is going to be better.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's just going to be like kind of how a discography should go, bro. Like the new album should always be better than the last, in my opinion, for the most part.
And he potentially is adding Juice WRLD.
Exactly.
Man.
He just tweeted out, should I add the Juice WRLD song to my album? And we do not know officially yet if this is a new Juice WRLD collaboration or if this is the leaked collaboration that has already came out between them called What's Brackin'. I think I played it for you before. You know, if it's that song, I know it's gonna be a banger. That song, if you know Juice WRLD leaks or you keep up with that, you know that song's a banger. If it's that song, it's gonna be a banger.
But it might be a different song.
Exactly. You know, they probably recorded some other songs. We don't know yet exactly what it is. So if it's a different song, I would expect it to be a banger as well. You know, every song they've made together has been good so far. And I hope
projected sales.
I would expect Offset to sell
alone
75K plus.
Yeah.
75K plus. I want to say 100K, but like a lot of people have just been selling less recently. I'm not gonna lie.
Because of the numbers. Because they adjusted how the numbers work.
And I just don't want to set the expectations too high for Offset. I don't know exactly what Father of Four sold, but I would expect, just based on how the current kind of sales are going for everyone, Offset's probably gonna sell about 75K.
Yeah, I'm saying 80. I'm saying 80 to 100.
I want to say 100 based because I love
I'm saying
Offset.
low 80K, but or if it's projected to sell more than what it's projected to be, then 100.
I would say it also is going to depend on what other features are on there, and if he has a big hit, like I would imagine, anytime you got a Cardi B feature, and obviously it's Offset, he's gonna have a Cardi B feature. That song could be a hit, and it don't really take much. So that song could be a hit, and that could bump up the sales from the 75K I'm talking about to 80 to 100K like you're saying. And Nav, even he outsold what his projections were at first, so maybe Offset can do the same.
Exactly, but we got Quavo and Takeoff dropping a new album with Quavo and Takeoff starting their new group. Offset alone, man, I just don't think either of the albums will be classic because they can only create a classic together.
Well, they just announced the new track list for the album, only built for Infinity Links.
Quavo and Takeoff, yep.
And, the features are confirmed to be Mustard, NBA Youngboy, Young Thug, Gunna, Birdman, Summer Walker, and Gucci Mane. So the real question is, who's going to have the better album, Quavo and Takeoff or Offset?
It's hard because we only know the expected features for Offset. If it's just a couple features Offset puts on, I don't think it's gonna be able to beat Quavo and Takeoff's Infinity Links. I really don't.
But you're saying if Offset does have the same kind of features that Quavo and Takeoff has, it'll be better?
It has the possibility.
But you gotta give a definitive.
Then I definitely got Quavo and Takeoff as of now, for sure. No question about it, man. Gucci Mane, Youngboy, man, Gunna, man, come on now.
I think, we've seen it in the past. The old Migos, look, we know when Quavo and Takeoff have had to really get together and make, just songs alone together. We see it in 2015 when Offset was locked up. We know what they can do. We knew what they did back then. Man, Chinatown was 2013, but they made bangers together. Just Quavo and Takeoff. We know what to expect. Obviously Offset is a great solo artist, but I think that Quavo and Takeoff as a duo, they're probably gonna make a better album. As of right, I would say as of right now. That's it. I personally love Offset's solo work.
But that's why I said don't sleep on the features, man. He could add more features and it could change. It could change.
It could.
Could possibly change.
If Offset is able to drop a better album, I think that could look bad on Quavo and Takeoff. I think
vice versa.
I know, bro. This is like a real competition. And like, I'm not gonna lie, whoever has the better album, bro, like I think it could create an even bigger rift. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dropping around the same time and stuff. Like,
or it could.
I don't think it's gonna bring them back together, bro.
It could. Because whoever loses could be the one to admit, I was wrong in the situation.
Maybe, bro.
But we'll never know what was the full story about what happened behind the scenes. But they probably made an agreement saying whoever loses this bet behind the scenes is gonna have to say sorry about the situation.
That would be crazy, bro. But like, I don't know. I feel like all three of them, like, they're low key, like, if it's really that much of a competition, I don't think they're gonna just be able to, like, after they lose. I don't know. I feel like they all gonna be sore losers.
I don't know. Offset just mentioned all three of them recently on an interview when they were talking about his favorite album.
He did, and that gives me a little bit of hope that they might be able to, stop the beef or whatever. If it's beef, at the end of the day, we don't really know anything confirmed. They've been real closed, quiet. You know what I mean? The only thing we know 100% is that, there was the beef with the label, obviously, in QCP, and we would kind of assume the fact that Offset has kind of been, like I said, away from the label, and Quavo and Takeoff still are. We can assume that there's still beef, but we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, like, family is kind of, it transcends, like, so, like, I don't know. I feel like it could still be a lot of things going on behind closed doors between the three of them that we just might never know about, but I feel like we'll know eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You ready to get into the next topic?
Yeah.
Bet. Let's talk about Lil Baby. Drops not the official song for the FIFA World Cup, but Budweiser's official song for the FIFA World Cup.
Exactly.
And he's getting a lot of backlash because people are saying it's not a FIFA World Cup song, but it's literally not. It's just Budweiser's FIFA World Cup song. So the backlash is kind of like not really like not justified.
Yeah. But he dropped The World Is Yours to take, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are giving it backlash. Like I said, the song itself, it's not a bad song.
And honestly, like, I think that could be the most like FIFA song, like FIFA related song
that he could possibly make,
that you're getting out of Lil Baby,
or any kind of rapper in general.
Yeah,
like you could have any rapper like kind of.
But I'm sure that some of the other rappers would be more inclined to do it, but not Lil Baby.
Yeah, and I think it would, but yeah, I think it is kind of weird, like, to a certain extent.
And he did kind of like, they kind of like had a little like kind of flair of the FIFA at the end of it.
And you could tell he like he was definitely, it was the same flow and stuff like that, but he was definitely specifically choosing different lyrics just because he was doing this. You know what I mean? Like he
literally mentioned Budweiser.
Budweiser. Like, come on, bro. Lil Baby don't drink Budweiser, bro. Lil Baby has never drank a Budweiser in his fucking life, bro. He's just saying that because of the song.
I don't know about he's never drank one for the most ever.
For the most part, bro, you never really see. Come on, bro. Lil Baby don't really drink. Lil Baby don't drink Budweiser.
Yeah, he's getting a bag.
And, like, I respect it. And like, but that's what I'm saying. The backlash is so kind of unjustified to a certain, because they got the impression that it was the official song. But it's not actually the official song. We listened to the official song, and it sounds like exactly how a FIFA World Cup song always has sounded, like a real pop, like, kind of cultural kind of song. Like, Waka Waka was, Shakira, obviously, back in the day. It's more similar to that type of song. And that's what the official World Cup song should be. It was a good song. But I understand, Budweiser, they're a more American-based audience, and they're obviously going to get a rapper. And Lil Baby is the hottest rapper right now. So, like, I know why Lil Baby took it, and the song is good. I mean, at the end, I'm not bumping it every day or anything like that, no, but it's a good song, you know what I mean?
And speaking about what we mentioned before, man, that's another person who could be on Offset's tape that could switch the whole game. Lil Baby is on Offset's tape. Because we know they collabed in the past.
Yeah. But I don't think that's that's not going to happen, bro. He's on QC. Lil Baby's on QC, and he was just with QCP and all that. It's not going to happen.
It could.
It was much more likely that he was going to be on Quavo and Takeoffs than Offset. Because, like, bro, Offset does not want no Lil Baby feature right now, bro, on QC. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? They've been having beef. And QCP ain't going to even clear a Lil Baby feature for an Offset album. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I highly doubt it. I would highly doubt it. But we got Young Mo. He just announced his new album, dropping the 26th in 2 days, titled Real One. The features are Shy Glizzy on the single Spaceships, Fat Trail, Don Burna, and Young Rue, who's on there twice.
It was fire.
So what are your expectations for this Young Mo album?
The single was fire, Spaceships, man, with Shy Glizzy. So, bruh, how much it's going to sell? Just because of Young Mo's name, It's not gonna sell that much, but the album's definitely gonna be fire.
And we know he's putting on for the DMV. You know what I mean? He's the voice of the DMV right now. And
so that's before you keep going. That's what I was saying. Like, do I believe he's gonna sell 100, 130K? No, just because of his name, but it could put him on the map.
He's going platinum in the streets.
And it could put him on the map and
That's
potentially sell like even 60, 70K. And for Young Mo, like, it's a lot.
And this album, you know, I feel like this is the one that can put Young Mo into that next category. You know what I mean? He's gonna move up after he drops this. I feel like, look, we just heard the new, you know, the single Spaceships with Shy Glizzy, and he slid on that. And I would just imagine that the whole album is gonna be very similar. Like, I don't think that I don't really expect him to have a bad song on it. I'm not gonna lie. I expect it's gonna be a banger, and I feel like this is gonna put Young Mo officially on the map. You know, for not just in the DMV, but I'm saying for like the whole country gonna have to be put on notice. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Outside of just the DMV, we know this shit gonna go crazy in the DMV, and you know, he's like the voice of that right now, but this is gonna elevate him.
He's been gaining traction. He's been
getting
traction in the South, but
exactly. But we know now. Like, I think this album is gonna be the one that kind of breaks him off, and maybe not mainstream 100% yet, but close to it.
Facts.
If not into it all fully.
Facts. So let's talk about Mango Fu. He drops his new album. QC artist Mango Fu drops his new album, Red Clay. Well,
Offset's artist.
Offset's artist now.
Exactly.
He was QC's artist, but
we don't even know what's going on with all that exactly. But
he could potentially be an Offset's artist, and Offset's starting a new label,
something like that.
So it could potentially be in the works.
So Red Clay by Mango Fu. What are your first impressions on the album?
Album was fire.
And you said while we were listening to it, and how just the first half of the album was much more like melodic based, and he was really going in on the second half.
Yeah. So the first half of the album was more melodic based, like you said, Zach, but he was just trying to like focus on, like, I believe, like, just appealing to the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
However, during the second half of the album, he was like, yo, let me get back to my core fan base, people that have been watching me and listening to my music for a long time. And then that's what he did.
And I think when I look at the track list, obviously every single song, look, Simon Says We're Rich the Kid, banger. The song with Quavo, we knew that's fire. Off, that shit was fired on a Pierre beat. I didn't expect Mango to get a Pierre beat. That was really fire.
Then he put on someone, La 30.
Yeah, low one way.
Oh, low one way.
And then he had
that's what it was on. Why I said
what was Wire and Merc, right?
Yeah, Wire and Merc, but he's been around for a little minute.
Well, no, but he didn't put him on, but he was on the album.
Yeah.
And then he had Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset on the project as well. Every single song that had a feature was a banger, but then in general, like the album, it's exactly what I expected. I was personally waiting on this album for a minute. And, once I saw Mango had announced it, and this is
you see how
better than I expected.
But you see how Offset,
and I expected a banger.
Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff were all on the same album, bro.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Lil Baby could be on Offset's album, bro. You can't sleep on it, bro.
I'm not sleeping on it.
You can't sleep on it, bro.
It's not gonna happen. I would bet.
But you gotta understand QC about the money, bro. That's why they cleared Mango and Offset and all them being on the same album.
I would bet 100K that Lil Baby's not gonna be on Offset's album. Like,
you could have said the same thing for Mango Fool, and that Quavo and Takeoff wouldn't have been on there.
But like, Lil Baby has had beef with the Migos in the past as well, bro. It's like it's beyond the like.
Beef was more with Quavo.
I would have said it was unlikely that he was gonna be on the album even before the QC beef, just because like they're not real close or nothing, But we're going completely off topic. I'm trying to keep the focus on Mango. No one talks about him enough, so like let's actually talk about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This he's underrated. We've been personally listening to him for a while, and this is the first album he's dropped. We literally saw it on Apple Music. It was the first album he dropped in 6 years.
Facts.
So, do you think he will be able to break into the mainstream with this album or with his next project that he's dropping?
Definitely with his next project, because now that he's under Offset's label and Offset's getting a lot of traction in the news as of this moment because of the beef, Mango might be able to take up the opportunity, but not this tape, bro. Not this project. Give it the next one. People are gonna Google his name, all that stuff right now, but the next one is when he has the possibility to break in the mainstream.
I would agree. I don't think the promo that was necessarily the best, but I think Offset, he's kind of working on doing his own album too. So like it's hard for him to fully promote Mango Fu and really give him the promotion that he probably deserves. You know what I'm saying? So I would feel like this is probably like the warm-up album almost to a certain extent.
He's going to need a music video with him.
Exactly. I think like there's going to have to be some certain things like that in order for him to fully break into the mainstream. But I think like the next and he said, I think Mango even said it, that once he dropped this album, he already had another tape ready or something like that. So I don't know exactly what to expect with that, but I feel like he'll be able to promote it better, and I feel like he's gonna get a lot of people checking him out based on this project. Anytime you got Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset on your album and stuff like that, people are going to start checking you out.
Facts.
More so than they were, because I would say not a lot of people were talking about him. You know what I mean? I didn't even see people talking about that the album dropped. Some fan pages, like rap fan pages and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's really underrated. But I feel like just because the big names on the album, some people will start to look them up. And then in the next project, like you said, that'll be the one where it sells the most he's ever had, on Billboard and stuff like that. And then he'll actually start to, break into that mainstream level.
Yep. Facts. So I know you want to talk about Big Walk, dog.
Exactly. He just dropped his new album, Trick City, which I was waiting for. And the features on the album were Gucci Mane, obviously, Lil Baby, Pooh Shiesty, and Big 30.
With Lil Baby and Pooh Shiesty being on the same song.
Exactly, and that was a single that had been out for a minute as well. And Gucci was on there twice. My first impressions on the album would be this album was a banger. We heard the songs, obviously the Lil Baby song, Pooh Shiesty, we heard that as a single. We knew it was fire. We heard one of the Gucci songs as a single as well. And then the Big 30 song we didn't even know. But then there was other songs on there that were like the intro and stuff like that. Like just the solo Big Walk Dog. You can't even sleep on that. Like it's almost it's a front to back.
It's
album.
Unexpected.
Like
I didn't expect it at first, but then when I listened to it, bro, that was fire.
Exactly, like he can hold his own just as a
you literally
solo
cannot
artist.
Sleep on it.
Like as a solo artist, like he don't even need features, and you saw it. There's a lot of tracks just by himself, and I think he wanted to prove himself as a solo artist. Not just getting a bunch of features, because 1017 they do a lot of collaborations, and they put we see it on Gucci's tapes and stuff like that. He's got like 5 people on the same song and stuff like that. So Big Walk Dog, I think with this album, he has some features obviously, but he only had the people who he really fucks with.
Facts.
And then he really wanted to show off him as an artist. And I think that's exactly what he did. I think he's putting the world on notice for real, because I seen a lot of people were talking about this album, on Twitter. It was going viral. And I think that this is the album that's going to put him on the map.
Definitely, bro. I think it's going to sell big numbers, bro. We're talking.
I don't know about huge numbers, like 100K. It's going to be less than that. But it'd be like it's going to be in that 50, 75K range for me.
I don't know, bro. I think this might put him on the map with the Lil Baby, Pooh Shiesty, and Big 30, bro. Gucci, bro. Gucci's definitely going to help promote that album, bro. It could do 90, 100K.
Nah, I don't think so, just because like even Nav only did like 50, 60,
In the way that the numbers work now, you're right. But
I think he might have he's going to be close to Nav, I feel like. Maybe 50, 60, 70K. Like maybe might beat him, might be a little less, I don't know. But he's going to hover around that range. And obviously, I think the Lil Baby Pooh Shiesty song, which was out as a single, and it was kind of a hit, kind of will help his numbers, more so. But, it's not going to sell that much. But like I said, 50 to 75K is going to put him on the map.
Facts.
And, with Pooh Shiesty obviously being in jail, kind of not forgotten about, but, it's been a minute. I think Big Walk Dog might become that second top dog on the label.
Sure.
17. Well, obviously when Shiesty gets out, he still got his spot, obviously. But for now, I think Big Walk Dog might be second top dog on that label right behind Gucci.
Yeah, no doubt. For now.
And we know 1017, they kind of just keep producing new artists, new bangers. Like, they come out of nowhere. I'm not going to lie. 1017 just be signing random people. Next thing I know, Gucci puts them on a song with him and they're fire. The same thing happened with Big Scar. Like, I don't even know where Gucci finds some of these people. Like, where did he find Big Walk Dog?
He's not big enough. He doesn't have that big of enough a name yet to sell 80 to 100. So probably more like 75, 70.
But like you seen like Big Walk Dog is like 6'8" tall and stuff like that. Like I don't know where Gucci even finds these people. Like, but Gucci has a real eye for talent evaluation. I've noticed that about Gucci, and I give him a lot of credit.
And he has good people around him.
His transition from what he was to the business side of it, it's done really incredible, and he has a real good ear for hot artists. He's found Big Walk Dog, he's found Shiesty, he found Big Scar. I mean, this guy just finds incredible artists, and I give props to Gucci.
Facts.
Test 17, one of the best labels in the game, if not the best label.
Bet. So let's get into culture. We got a 17-year-old hacker getting arrested for, GTA 6 leaks.
Not gonna lie, this is crazy. First of all, the fact that he was this 17-year-old kid, 3 years younger than me, which is just crazy to think about, was able to get GTA 6. This is like getting the Holy Grail. This is like finding the fucking pot at the end of the rainbow. To be able to get into the GTA 6 files and leak them, bro, that's just incredible. But it's I'm not gonna lie, he definitely deserved to get arrested because it's illegal as hell. Like, let's just be real. It definitely deserved it. But I just think it's incredible how this 17-year-old kid was even able to get GTA 6. You know what I'm saying?
It was a service to the community almost, bro. We've been waiting for this
that's
game
what I'm
for
saying,
like
bro.
8 years, bro. It was a service to the community.
He sacrificed himself for the greater good of gaming.
Of GTA.
Exactly. Like,
and Rockstar.
It's incredible. Obviously, it's unfathomable to think about how long it's taken for them to make GTA 6. And the fact that this 17-year-old hacker
had to give the details about the game
because it's been so long.
And the literal company owners don't want to give too much details about the game because maybe they're not
ready.
fully finished with the game.
How could you not be not finished yet? You know what I'm saying? It's been too freaking long. What have you been working on?
It's just crazy. So overall, man, we think it's an overall positive and good service to the community of what the kid did. However, like, we know it's against the law, so he deserved to get arrested at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because, like, I'm honestly appreciative of what he did. I think everyone is to a certain extent. But then, like, when you look at it from obviously Rockstar's point of view, like, you can't. Obviously, they're gonna be pissed, and obviously, like, they're gonna push for this kid to get arrested and do whatever they have to do to get him arrested, and he did. And ultimately, it's kind of what he deserved. But
at the end of the day,
he did a real service to the community.
And at the end of the day, they know that they're getting more traction about it because we're talking about it. Other people are talking about it. They know at the end of the day that it's going to benefit their game.
Like, this leak helped out their game. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like, it's basically free promo. Everyone's talking about this. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is going to set back the game or really lose them money. I think if anything, it might actually gain them some money.
Without a doubt. So you ready to talk about Johnny Depp dating his lawyer?
Yeah, I'm ready.
That's a crazy situation, bro. Like not necessarily that crazy because we all knew it was gonna happen, but like, just like, dating your lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an actor, Johnny Depp. You know what I'm saying? It seems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It seems kind of weird, kind of
sus, but you know what I'm saying? But you know what it is? He has the freedom to do whatever he wants.
And yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day,
literally do whatever he wants.
Like, there should be obviously, like, I think it's more just the people are kind of sketched out about it because it's the lawyer and that whole situation. But at the end of the day, it's not like we should be judging him for who he wants to date. You know what I mean? Obviously, he probably feels fairly strongly about his lawyer. You know what I mean? He grew a real connection to her through that whole court case or whatever, and she probably kind of felt the same way. And it's Johnny Depp. I mean, most women are gonna kind of fold for Johnny Depp. Let's just be real. At a certain point, he was like sexiest man alive and stuff like that. Like, he was up there. You know what I mean? So, like, I can't really blame the girl, and then, like, I can't really blame Johnny Depp either.
You just gotta feel bad for who she left.
Oh yeah, well,
if she left her husband.
If it was, was it like that?
Yeah, she divorced
just to get with Johnny Depp.
Pretty much. So you gotta feel a little bad for him, but at the end of the day, he probably go recover and he's gonna get a little he's gonna get a little name for himself off this. His name gonna be in a couple articles, bro. So
yeah, it's kind of that is unfortunate though. You would hate to be in his shoes. That would be ass.
He won't be on the next Bachelor or nothing, but he'll be on something. They'll do something for him.
I mean, I hope so because damn, it's kind of messed up. I mean,
somebody will do.
But
something
at the end of the day, bro, like, most girls, like I said, most girls are gonna fold. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad. I guess she folded that easy, but Johnny Depp, you know what I mean? Most of the time, you're gonna fold. Unfortunately.
Facts. Speaking of relationships, I know we got Kanye going on GMA talking about a whole bunch from Gap to co-parenting with Kim Kardashian. So let's get into that.
Yeah, well, you know, we saw the interview on Good Morning America, and obviously the highlight of the interview for me, you know, he did address a lot of things in this interview, and it was a really good interview, I would say. You know, so there's been some Kanye interviews that have been complete craziness, but this particular interview was crazy. But the highlight of the interview for me was Kanye admitting that Sway had the answers. That was the highlight of the interview for me, and I told you this, bro. Like, it's funny, I told you this a few months ago, I think, and I was like, bro,
he needed to do everything by himself.
I just hope Kanye does his own thing, bro, because he's big enough now. Yeezy is so big, bro. Just do your own thing, please. And he's finally doing it, bro. He's dropping the last collab with Gap, collab with Gap and Balenciaga, and I think it's good that they're gonna drop the final collab and all that, and get those pieces of clothing out there that they made and they put the time and effort in on. But I'm glad that Kanye is actually gonna.
It sucks though, man.
Take those steps to making his own thing.
Yeah, it sucks though, man, because Kanye, you know, this is his last collaboration with Gap.
And he had a huge relationship with them growing up.
And that's what I'm saying. And he put, like, Balenciaga to be with Gap. You know what I'm saying? He put that collab together.
That's like, let's be real. That's the only reason Balenciaga ever collaborated with Gap.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so Kanye kind of really did him a favor with that.
So for Gap to screw them on this deal, bro, like.
Gap messed up.
It shouldn't have been their last collab, bro. Like, Gap should have made it up to him and made it right, bro.
It should have. But I'm glad from Kanye's perspective, he's, you know, sticking up for himself
and doing things on his own.
Because that's probably what he should have done back in 2013 when Sway was telling him. You know what I mean? That was almost
he just didn't have
years
that.
Ago. He just didn't think, I guess, like that.
Bro, like he said it, and he was screaming and yelling it, bro. But like he was saying, Sway didn't have the answers. It was just himself, bro. He just didn't have the answers, bro.
And I think he really did want to.
So he just needed.
He wanted to really do some stuff with Gap.
Exactly, bro. And he just needed to get more invested in business and the clothing business. He just needed to invest himself more in that and less in the music, and he needed to understand more. And now that he understands more, he's able to be like, yo, I'm gonna do everything on my own.
And what are your thoughts on potential? And he said this in an interview, but he's hinted at it in the past. He's saying everything potentially at one point in the Yeezy store might be $20.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's exactly going to happen, but
I want to see what it does for his brand. I'm very interested. It could potentially, like, a lot of people could buy it and it could boost up his brand, or it could, if people be like, hey, it's only $20, man. You know what I'm saying? And people are used to spending a lot of money on Yeezy, and he's catered to that market. It could affect his brand. Potentially not enough people buy it to where he loses a lot of money. And I wouldn't want to see that happen to Kanye. I only want to see him progress in the future.
So would you ever buy some new Yeezy clothes for $20?
Maybe if it was something that was looking really, really cool.
Like have you seen those shades? Just the sunglasses?
No, I haven't seen the shades.
He's got like these crazy shades that are coming out for $20, and I think that was crazy because
I want to see the designs on the graphic tee. If it's like a cool graphic tee or something like that, or a cool like pair of sweats or something like that, I'll grab them. If they're looking crazy, yeah.
Yeah, like,
and they have something like that's like, you know what I'm saying, like Kanye, like original.
Yeah.
They have to have some type of originality to it.
I feel like that's what he's gonna finally be able to do. Not that he wasn't able to fully express himself before, but I feel like if he wasn't, and he said that in the past, he hasn't always been able to. When you're doing your own thing, you can't fully express yourself. And a fully expressed Kanye, I do think we're gonna get some real crazy things that are gonna look. Let's be real. Not every Kanye shoe idea or shoe model is good. So I think we're just gonna get some crazy stuff, and not everyone is gonna be a banger.
But the ones that do hit are gonna hit crazy.
Hit crazy, you know. We've seen it. The ones that he had, like, everyone loves the Yeezy 350s, the banger. Like, at the time, nobody knew what they were. But then he drops the silhouette, boom, it goes crazy. And then, you know, and we saw the Yeezy 700. You know, that's a crazy silhouette at first, but then people started to love it. And he basically dropped that one silhouette where it was basically like a sock, but it's a shoe.
Damn.
And it looks like a sock, but it's a shoe. And, like, not a lot of people were fucking with that one, but that's one of them ones where it's like, okay, like,
I gotta check it out.
It was a miss, you know what I mean? But
I gotta check it out just to see.
But I feel like, you know, we're gonna see maybe a lot more misses, but a lot more hits because Kanye.
I'm sure people will still buy that miss.
Oh no, they did.
Yeah.
No, if you look it up, StockX or whatever, then
they bought the sock shoe, bro. Of course they're gonna buy the sock shoe.
I'm pretty sure they go for like $500 on resale. You know what I'm saying? Like they go crazy on the resale because it's like I don't think he ever dropped another version of it because they kind of people said that they were asked, but then they ended up reselling for crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, another part of that interview is where he mentioned his co-parenting with Kim Kardashian and how he could admit that he messed up on social media. However, he needed to do that in order to be more involved get involved as a parent because Kim K wasn't letting him get involved as a father. So he needed to get on social media and express what he had to say.
And some would say that they were harsh comments at the time and stuff like that.
He even admitted that it was harsh comments. However, it was what needed to be said.
It was, and those were the comments that were going to get the most media controversy, that was going to get the most attention. And Kanye, he needed to get the attention. You know what I mean? He needed to get the attention of the media so that Kim K would be listening to him.
Exactly.
And that was the whole point of him doing them crazy social media stunts. And he still does them now with the whole legal stuff. He just said, I love war and stuff like that. He just he really uses social media more than I would say almost anybody else to really express his thoughts and opinions. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he uses social media. He'll literally just go on there and say what he thinks.
Facts.
And he has such a big platform, it kind of works. If I can't really do that, I go on my social media and I just start talking on my story, bro, no one really cares. But it's Kanye. So Kanye, bro, he kind of is able to appeal to that. We
get traction, though, bro. It's not like no one cares.
But, like, I'm saying, like
as of now.
I'm talking about, like
Kanye has billions of followers.
When he's talking about his life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like his kids and stuff like that. Like a normal guy goes on there, you can't really do that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? A normal guy talk about your kids. Of course you're going to talk about your kids, but not really to the extent that Kanye is able to do so because he's Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So
facts. That's
why, you know, he is able to do some crazy things on social media. But I agree. I think that he needed to do those things. He even said it. I agreed at the time. I agreed. I said that even before he said it.
But he admitted that there were mistakes, and now he's able to co-parent his kids. So it's all positives. And
I think, you know, even Kim K, she would say that she was probably being a little bit too stubborn and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I feel like she's not going to say that she's grown as a person or whatever, but I feel like she's kind of being more receptive to Kanye, especially more so than she was at one point. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of that just have to do with the whole Skeet Davidson thing. And now that they're broken up, she can kind of be a little bit more receptive to Kanye. I think obviously there was a big problem because Kanye hated Pete Davidson so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, overall now it's completely positive. You ready to get in the last topic of the day?
Yeah.
So we got Floyd Mayweather wanting to fight Conor McGregor. Like he said
him out essentially, and
yeah,
he said that there were talks, but we don't.
Even though he has an upcoming fight.
Exactly, and the upcoming fight is against Deji, KSI's brother. So we know that fight is confirmed. Do you give Deji any chance of winning that fight? Even though it's just an exhibition.
I honestly haven't seen enough. I've seen a little bit of Deji, but I haven't seen enough. But
it's Floyd Mayweather. I've
seen a little bit of him practicing. Like there's clips out there of him practicing, whatever. But he can't beat the reigning champ.
It's Floyd Mayweather. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not beating it. Do I believe Conor McGregor has a chance if they rematch? Most definitely.
You think Conor has a chance?
Definitely, Conor McGregor has a chance. He just has the will within him. And even though boxing isn't his sport, man, he just has that will within him, the fire within him. And it was kind of close, right? Last time it wasn't horrible.
It wasn't a blowout. No.
It wasn't a blowout.
I remember watching that. It was such a crazy event.
So I think that's going to be more of an exciting fight.
Look, I would say, in terms of the fight that Floyd Mayweather has already set up with Deji has no chance of winning this fight. You know, KSI is saying that Deji has a chance. And I would love, and to me, it's almost unfathomable that I'm going to see freaking Deji in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, seeing as I used to watch Deji as a kid opening FIFA packs and doing pranks with KSI and stuff, and now I'm wanting to watch him fight Floyd Mayweather. It's actually crazy to think about. But at the end of the day, he has no chance of actually beating him. Like, Floyd Mayweather, Brett, this should be first round knockout. I'm not gonna lie. Even though Floyd Mayweather is 50, this should be first round knockout. This shouldn't even be close. Like, this is like I can't even believe this. And Floyd Mayweather even said it in a not an interview, but in a sparring battle. He was talking to the media while he was sparring or whatever, and he said like, "Don't question my tactic." Like he said, "I can literally fight bums and make millions." That's basically so. He's basically calling Deji a bum, and is Deji a bum? No, but he has no chance of beating Floyd Mayweather. But in the interview, he also was calling out Conor McGregor and saying there was talks about it. Conor McGregor has kind of denied the talks, but I don't know if that's exactly how. I don't know. Floyd Mayweather just wouldn't say something without no reason to say it.
And
so
overall,
I think that the fight's going to happen.
And I would say that fight would be more exciting.
Oh, yeah. Floyd Mayweather and Conor would be so much more exciting.
But I believe the fans agree.
And I still think, regardless of that, Floyd Mayweather would smoke Conor McGregor too. And I love Conor. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of those guys that the last time when they fought, I was like, Conor's going to win. And because I always kind of say Conor's going to win. I like Conor McGregor. But, like, he can't even win an MMA fight anymore. And I love Conor, but I can't give him no faith in beating Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like, Conor, the thing about Conor, he's always been a good striker. And, you could always catch him, I guess. It's boxing. You catch him one time, you can knock him out.
That could definitely happen.
It doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, though. Just never does.
He's quick on his feet.
Never has. I would be shocked if Floyd Mayweather ever gets knocked out because he didn't do it when he was actually professionally boxing, and he's not going to do it during an exhibition. Deji's not going to do it. But there were rumors that this could be a professional fight again, and it could be the another official W for Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record. And if that happens, I think it's interesting. But I never thought I would see another official Floyd Mayweather fight because at the end of the day, it's always a risk of breaking that unbeaten streak. And when you're already over 50-0, I think it was 51, when you're already over that, bro, like what's the point of you risking it, bro? You're already cemented as the GOAT. If I would hate to see a L go on his record now, when it's basically his career is done.
And another thing that could give Floyd Mayweather the advantage is that in his free time, he could be practicing boxing.
Oh, he's always been. He hasn't even stopped.
And that's what I'm saying.
Retired.
And Conor McGregor, like in his free time, he does MMA. If he even does,
he's not really practicing boxing. He's probably practicing
MMA. But even if he is, he's, you know what I'm saying?
He's not Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, he's not practicing on a consistent basis.
And he was coming off of, I think,
unless he's preparing for a fight.
Exactly, but if he's denying the claims, has he been preparing? I don't know. I think that there's still a lot of question marks. I think that the fact that they're talking about it and they're kind of starting to promo it a little bit,
he might get in the gym.
But I don't think it's gonna happen until 2023. If it does happen, I don't know. It's just my take. I would say I
could agree with that take.
Because Conor, if he hasn't been really training, bro, you're gonna need to give him probably, I would say, between 3 to 6 months just to really train boxing and get back into the, because even last time he said, like, I need time to train boxing, and that's why it took too long for that fight to happen originally. It's gonna take some time. And if he hasn't even started training yet, I think that we're gonna have a lot more time to talk about this fight. There's gonna be a lot more things to develop about it. But I think I'm very intrigued by the idea that they're even having talks about the rematch. You know what I mean? I think that, the money is obviously gonna be there. People want to see it.
It's going to be a great sporting event.
It's one of them things, like, people just want to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great sporting event, man. You're going to go out, whatever, even kick it with your homies or whatever, and just
watch the fight.
Yeah, have a couple beers, watch the fight. Enjoyable.
I'll probably see Floyd Mayweather win again, like we've always have. He's never going to do this, but if Floyd Mayweather was to take a fight that would actually be interesting, he'd have to fight Canelo. But that's not going to happen. He's already beat him, the younger version of Canelo. I don't think he's not going to ever take that fight. But if he did at this very moment, Canelo would probably win, which is why he's not going to take that fight. Canelo's in his prime right now. We saw some of that last Canelo fight. So.
Facts.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about with the Floyd Mayweather fighting Deji and Conor McGregor?
No, I think we can end the podcast here, man.
All right, so... yeah, with all that being said, man, that's episode 20 of the Shooter Straight podcast. We just started the Facebook, like we mentioned at the very beginning. So we got that with all of our other social medias down in the description box below. Make sure you subscribe while you're down there and, check us out on all the platforms down there.
Facts, and continue to comment. Again, we'll maybe say an interesting take that has been said in the comments about one of the topics that we talked about. Exactly. Or a topic that could, whatever topic.
Exactly.
We always look.
Liking and commenting on our videos, definitely helps out the YouTube algorithm. It kind of shows YouTube that we're making good content. And it shows us that we're continuing to make good content, and give us your suggestions and everything like that. We take everything into account. We read pretty much every single comment. So let us know anything about the pod or anything like that, about anything down in the description or in the comment box below.
Facts, and not hopefully, but we'll be getting on Spotify real soon.
Exactly. I don't know if that's going to happen for this episode necessarily, but I know for a fact by episode 21 we will be on Spotify and Apple Music, and we're going to try to get this one on there as well. So
facts.
So with all that being said, man, that's episode 20 of the Shoot It Straight podcast, man. I'm your co-host Zach.
I'm your co-host Blue.
And man, we'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.
Continue to shoot it straight.